another. Hold on, this guy.
Once you go past him, you see a stone driveway. You can pull in and go on the way to that drop side over there.
Yeah, they say he got some cleanup. He got to clean up? What he gonna do?
No, they already cleaned it up.
Oh, they ain't gonna put nothing in back here?
Yeah, you still got some in there. We're gonna use it over there. It's just a little bit. So you pull in front of him, you'll see a stone path. You can pull in there.
Oh, on that one right there?
Yeah, and go all the way up.
All right, 10-4. Appreciate it, man. That was cool. He came over and said he communicated it to me. What's going on? Because most of the time they don't tell you nothing. They figure that the truck has a brain and the truck is gonna figure out what the next move for the truck is. These trucks don't do too much. They go forward, they go backwards, and they raise up the stuff and come down like there's nothing else to figure out. But where they plan on using me, need me to, they got to tell me where to go, and I'm glad my man did that. Because I'm just sitting here, bro. I'm just sitting here. Be out here in the middle, nowhere at all, baby. Reception. Getting ready to finish this up strong for the day. See my man here, cool dude. Smile, you on YouTube, youngin'? You on YouTube? So I guess the verdict came back in on that Carmelo Anthony thing, man, and young Bud, they found him guilty on murder charges. Those type of charges, man. He wasn't able to beat them charges. Get another lawyer or whatever. They want you to appeal the case. Well, I say this: rest in peace to the boy that did lose his life. Unfortunately, that's the sad part right there, man. You know what I'm saying? These kids, and I went to school with a bunch of bullies. I went to school with some of them out here working. I worked with some. I mean, not these guys, but no, they didn't turn out too bad. He probably was a bully back in the day. Look what he's doing for a living. He's out here working. He could have been a bully back in the day somewhere, But shout out to the boy, man. I mean, rest in peace my condolences to the family, first and foremost, for both of these young men, Carmelo and the other boy. And he had a twin brother, so, man, I know that hurt. You know what I'm saying? And I say this, man. All y'all kids out here, got to get along, man. Got to learn how to get along out here, bro. Got to learn how to just get along on the school bus if you're walking home. You know how many fights I had walking home from school? I broke my wrist. Punching somebody in the mouth. I broke my thumb, actually, because he said I did like this instead of like this. I turned around. Bam! I was getting into a lot of fights. And it's funny, Michael J. White used to get into me and him went to school together. He's the celebrity, the big guy. Mike, Mike, that's my boy. Man, me and Mike used to fight all the time walking home from school. That's why he's behind all that karate. He was doing that shit back then. to them boys. I'm telling you, we used to fight all the time walking home from school. Because we lived up on the other side of town. All the kids we went to school with were bust in. You know what I'm saying? So, we were walking home fighting with everybody. Stephanie. Browser is solid. Hey, how you doing? Thanks for joining me. I don't know if I got good reception. You got all these pine trees out here. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's what it was, man, growing up, man. You know what I'm saying? We always, there's always a confrontation, even when we had football games. When I played football, after practice, all of that stuff, man. These young people, man, unfortunately, man, this boy lost his life. And I just saw another thing where they were talking about it and they're saying, was this level of, you know, was it justifiable? Why, they said he brought a knife to a fist fight. I understand, and some of these kids, they scared. They're trying to live up to bigger brother or bigger, uncle or somebody, kind of, we want to push our kids to be, what I'm saying, the best that they can be, you know. And sometimes you could push a kid too far. You could push a child too far. Now they could come home after school and tell you about all the altercations, all the people making fun of them in school, all the pressure that they're under on the school bus or whatever, walking home, what they might experience. And then a lot of times, the parent gets involved. You know what I mean? Then a lot of times the parent just said, I want you to, what I'm saying, you give him one right across his lips, and Michelle Saw says, hi, how you doing? Hi, how are you? It's just very unfortunate that, you know, this is not the first time and won't be the last time that there is, a physical altercation that gets out of hand. And unfortunately, the outcome is, you know, tragedy for both parties involved. The family loses a loved one. They're both losing something. This boy's going away for a long time. Okay, all right, all right. Appreciate you on your dad's account. So I'm speaking to you guys, you young people too that might be watching. You know, we're not gonna sit here and talk about who's the bigger, badder person, because I think the lesson that needs to be learned is, you know, how you just walk away from, um, you know, walk away from a bad situation that can just wind up going down. There's already a bad situation. And things like this happen on days when the sun is out and when it's raining. As you can see, I guess this happened when it was raining. You know, I wonder what he got going on. Dude took me right here. Follow me down here. Where we going? Down there. Let me know. I'm gonna just follow these guys down. I don't know if I'm gonna lose reception, but I wanted to say that. I wanted to say this. They're building big houses for all you big, multi-million dollar people, high net worth individuals out here. They're building them all out here for y'all. Stay here. What you got going on now? Okay. Yeah. So these are gonna be high net worth individuals living out here in this daggone thing. They're about to put a bunch of daggone houses back here, man. All these little roads they're building, they're making a city back here, basically. Making a city in the woods. This is all stolen land. Plenty of it too. This is all stolen land, man. Who developed the stolen land? You start charging y'all. All this daggone land. He said, where they get all this land from? They stole it. They stole it all back up here in the woods. It's all stolen land. We out here developing stolen land, y'all. All right. Anyway, He said they got a bunch of patches somewhere. What did he say? Just keep going down? All right. He said just keep going down in the woods and you'll see where we going. Down into nowhere. Down into nowhere. So again, like I said, man, I hate to have to, you know, I hate to have to send the condolences out, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of time, around this time of the year, proms and stuff, graduations and all of that. Man, neither one of them kids gonna have a chance to do that. Ain't going to no prom, ain't going to no graduation. You know, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. So sadly, that's what it is. But I just wanted to say this to all the people watching that might be watching. Uh, we got to try to, talk to our youth. That boy told me to come down here. He told me to keep going. Where they need to catch some stuff. He right behind me. They just told me to come down here. I knew that kid was bugging out. But then I'm gonna have to come back down here anyway. I don't know who this is in this car. So we gotta just try to encourage the kids, try to find some common ground. You know what I'm saying? They gotta learn how to be tolerant of one another. You know, uh, it's hard. It's a hard thing to kind of do, man, with the young people, man. Because I know I couldn't deal with certain people that I went to school with. I just couldn't put up with it. I was the type of person I'd be ready. I'd be ready to all the time fight when I was young in school. I always was getting in principal. I was getting in a lot of trouble in school. I'm not even lying. 'Cause I didn't play that. But, now it's a different time, bro. And these kids can get their hands on. I mean, you can get a knife. Anybody can get a knife. Anybody can get a gun. You know, I don't think things have really changed much. The youth, they're still crazy. I mean, we were crazy back when we were young. You know what I'm saying? We were crazy too. Yeah, man, I told the dudes that now they all standing up back there like they were waiting for me. He said, go down. And I pulled over and asked the man. And he said, yeah, go down. All right. Like, it's not my job to, to do all this extra figuring out what's the plan. I just go where they tell me. And they need to be specific. They need to be very specific. So, I guess, I hope this is good enough spot where my reception is good. All right. So it is very, very, very unfortunate that this happened. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the school year, when everybody's pretty much supposed to be celebrating, making it up into to the graduation or end of the year and stuff like that. Now you got tragedy when everybody's supposed to be celebrating. Don't nobody want to be at the end of the year when we're supposed to be giving flowers and cards and you know what I'm saying, salutations. You know what I mean? Like mourn. We don't want to be mourning. That's not what time it is. It's time for celebration right now. You know what I'm saying? So uh, let's just have those conversations with these youth, man. Let's talk to these young brothers, these young sisters and stuff. How y'all de-escalate stuff, man. Yo, come on, man. Y'all tone that down, man. We ain't here for that. Everybody needs to start intervening, especially when you see stuff. Oh no, mind your business. Don't say nothing. No, Stop the violence before it happens, before another family loses a loved one. You know what I'm saying? Before, you know, the bail bondsman has to get called, right? Now you got to try to get the money for bail, right? Nobody wants to be trying to scrape up. You know, these guys are doing stupid things and they wind up getting themselves $1.4 million worth. Man, somebody should have told him a long time ago, bro, you need to calm down. Stop the nonsense. But I was out of, you know, now he wind up getting, hey, I'm doing, Tag, what's up, Tag? How you been? I haven't seen you in a while. Appreciate you for coming back. Did you make? Did you break up with your girl? Did you get back with your girlfriend? Did break up with his girl before the end of this? Are you taking her to the prom? It's somebody else thing. No, I don't. I'm not trying to be funny either. I might have you confused with somebody else. But okay, getting back to what I said. Y'all. Oh, not you. All right, Tig. Sorry, you're not the guy. How's everything going with you, man? Got your coffee, man? I got mine. Look, do me a favor, you guys. If you see an altercation or something getting ready to go, I know a lot of people like, man, I ain't getting involved. I mind my business. These YNs out here, these people crazy. You know, I'm trying to teach people to be a little more, just to be tolerant of. You know, I know people like, man, you ain't gonna be. I can't tolerate. One thing I can't tolerate is disrespect, right? So I'm not trying to teach nobody to be tolerant of somebody being disrespectful to you, but learn how to de-escalate. You know what I'm saying? The disrespect, right? Somebody, even an onlooker, if you see somebody disrespecting somebody, you got to intervene. You got to try to at least say, "Hey, yo, come on, that's not even called for, man." You know what I'm saying? Kind of inject the de-escalating voice into, you know what I'm saying, a situation if you can, and if it, you know, if it's, so long as it's not going to cause any no harm to no one. Yeah, people need to really be told a lesson. Well, if we don't try, if nobody's up here trying to, you know, I mean, I don't want to go off of the. It's kind of hard to not go off of what the trend or the narrative is. Like sometimes, you know, like yeah, you know, yeah, hit him again. People love a good fight, man. You know, but that's not what time it is, man. Because that's like saying, well, shoot him again or stab him again. That's not what time it is. It really is time for people to start coming up and saying, hey, this is uncalled for. Stop. Stop. Right? Who's going to do it? Who's going to do it? You know, some people don't want to get involved. Oh, I'm not getting involved in this stuff. You know, I hate people like that, though. I ain't going to say I hate nobody. But I don't like people like that. I do not like people that feel like, oh, man, come on, let's just go. Let's be quiet. Come on, let's get it. You know, it's one thing to, you know, mind your business. But, you know, I feel like anytime you see somebody being unjustly uh, like picked on or bullied and stuff like that, man, that's like, because usually it's a coward that's doing that. It's trying to bully people, you know? And, you know, when somebody says something to the, like, yo, man, leave him alone, man. Why you messing with that dude, man? You see he's big, he's smaller than you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, people running around with guns like, oh, man, I ain't care about it. They running around with guns. You got people like this guy running around with guns. And he want to shoot somebody. know, it's unfortunate that you got people that run around like that. But I just feel like people should do a little bit more um, to try to make it not so much so much of a big deal, man. You know, don't look, because a lot of time people looking for somebody. That's why you got the people that they go on live and they're looking for somebody to charge the battery up, and they yeah, do it. They need somebody to cheer them on because they're not doing that by themselves. You know, you're not just out here, you know, uh, be, what kind of bully needs a daggone following? Like, I need a bunch of people. Well, most bullies are like that. They need a bunch of they you know they want everybody to be scared of them. You know, you big bully. They all end up meeting their fate though, man, which is unfortunate too. Let me back it up here. I don't know what these guys are doing. They don't speak. They just point their hands. But a lot of them don't even speak. Yeah, there you go. See, that's what I'm talking about. You can't even come in. I'll tell you. By the time my 10 or however many hours of being on this job or being on any of these jobs are concerned, by the time my 10 or 12 hours day is done, I'm not a violent person, but somehow we need to pull side and just say to them that what they did was you pull them to the side. Exactly, yeah. You got to, man. So reason with these people. You know, if no one's the voice of reason, if nobody comes and say, you know what, man, come on, man. Sometimes you gotta just, and kind of push them along because they want pat on the back. They want something like, well, come on, man, don't worry about that, man. Just, you know what I mean? Come on, man. It's be alright, man. Just don't let it bother you. Just chill out, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not worth it. It's not worth it. You know, we need more people doing that these days, man, because anybody can blow up. But do you know how to de-escalate and defuse the situation? You know what I'm saying? Are you able to intervene and inject some type of harmony rather than chaos? You know what I mean? Like, we need people to have those type of skills to stand up, man. Because otherwise, we're gonna be losing a lot more of our youth. You know what I'm saying? Families is gonna be going through. It's gonna be all this tension in the air. People is, you know, it can all be. All of that can be. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can resolve these things before it gets to that point. Once a life is gone, it's almost no resolve. There is no resolve. It's almost. There is no resolve. Once you take the life, you own it. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no, oh, I should have did it. Oh man, I wish I did it this that way, and that's too late. A lot of times you gotta own it. You gotta feel like, man, look, you going in for the kill. Let that be what you plan on doing and living with. You know, uh, it's going. You know, because they the court system. You know, they don't really they don't want to hear anything. Well, if you can show some remorse to lighten your sentence, you know, let's hope it does that, right? But even for the jurors and the people that have to, stand and now look at this and say, well, we will take into account everything that has happened and make a decision on what we feel will be, you know, the right the right outcome or whatever. Hopefully, we think, but only God can judge us. But we do have a jury of our peers. And I said ignorance is very contagious. It's very contagious at this day and time, this day and age. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna look and you're gonna hear a lot of stuff all over the internet. You know, people will jump on the narrative and then jump right off. And we can, and any one of us can be a victim of that. Because as soon as there's new information, now the room gonna shift. But only God can judge us. I hate to see people lose their lives behind like some pride, foolish pride, right? And I listened to the guy today. He was talking about, a fist fight. Wasn't no real big, stomping. Just did it dirty, did you dirty, did you like that? It wasn't one of those, because one of those, the only way to kind of get up and come out of that is, kind of using some kind of real force. They stomping you out. You got to use force to get up out of that. You know what I'm saying? And in doing so, someone may lose their life. But if you just allow somebody to stomp you and stomp you and stomp on you, you may get stomped out completely. So that's a different, all together different there. That's why I say, man, intervene before it gets to that. You know what I'm saying? Intervene before it gets to that. Hopefully, God's on your side. You know what I'm saying? Like you can go into something like that, situation like that. A lot of people are like, nah, I'm just minding my business, I'm gonna keep it moving. But what would you do? A lot of times you don't know what you would do until you're in a situation like that. But you're gonna tell them like, no, get him off of him. No, we're not trying. I don't even know the person. Get him off him. Get him off him. They beating the crap out of the boy. Just about to, do him mad dirty. No, get off him. I seen somebody. I've been in a situation like that. I've been in a situation. You know what I'm saying? Where I had got attacked, and I was out cold, unconscious. My boy saved my life. He came, and I woke up and I was in the hospital, and I don't remember nothing really. I don't. But if my boy wasn't there, only God knows what would have happened to me. You know, that was years ago. Years ago, man. And after that event happened, people go on they, people go on their, they go on they, maybe like, all right, we got a ride now. We got a ride. So, but things happen. Things happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave that one alone. We moved on past it. It's all the way back. I don't even like going back in that time and stuff. So, but that's why I don't. I kind of I don't like. I never like to see that because it just turns very bad, man. It can turn very bad, which was and I thought I got it bad after that. You know what I'm saying? I did get it bad, but it's crazy. It gets crazy out here. So we got to try to, what I'm saying? We got to try to stop things from happening before they happen. Because what actually happened to me shouldn't have happened. And this was years ago. It shouldn't have happened. I remember one time after it happened, we was all in a nightclub. We was somewhere in the club, and an old school dude comes up to me and says, me and the dude was there. Me and the dude and his little crew, and they were there too, right? I was there with my people. We was at the club. We was all at the club. Got crazy on the highway going back home, though. So he said, y'all should make up, man. Y'all should make up, man. You know, you could unalive him and he could unalive you. What's that going to change? You know what I'm saying? What's that going to change? You know? And I was like, yeah, you right. He seized up everything for the moment right there at the bar while we was at the spot. But like I said, once we got in the cars and we was on the way home in the highway and everything, cars, it turned to a different situation. It turned to a very different situation. So, it's not it's nothing ever good that comes out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, people get into conflict. If we can't figure out a way to just agree or disagree, or we don't really get along, we don't have to threaten each other, because some people are like, oh yeah, we'll do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because don't challenge nobody out here, man. Just try to look for a peaceful way to be. I ain't saying be no punk, no chump. Don't stand up for yourself and everything. By all means, do that. I mean, you could be out. I've been out with a female, and we out, and good looking woman, man. And people don't. A lot of times, these a group of young guys don't respect you being out with a good looking woman. So now they want to try to challenge your manhood, because she don't want to give no attention to them, and tell them, you see, I'm with so and so, we'll back up. Like, and foolish pride, man, can turn into anything. Stuff happens. You know, it, funny dude, stupid. I mean, he gonna bust my window on the passenger side where the girl's sitting at, because she didn't want to acknowledge the dude and tell him, get out of here. I'm like, this is so. I was like, let me come on, we gotta go, because I ain't got. I'm not. It's just me and you, and a couple of them. You already told them once. She like, come on, we gotta go. Like, all right. So she came and jumped in the truck real quick. I'm about to pull off, and they were mad at her and smashed the window. I said, what kind of crap is that? People are just crazy, bro. People are crazy, man. This was some years back, too. This was not no recent nothing. This was years ago. But that's what I say, too, about sometimes, we get, good looking woman and stuff, and some dudes just be mad because they can't get it. They ain't had it with you. They mad because they get mad because she don't want nothing to do with them, and she messing with you. That was crazy, man. I done been through a lot. I've seen a lot. That's why I say, man, it's unfortunate that a lot of this crap goes on. And I hate to see stuff like that. I don't want to be in a situation. I know situations arise where you find yourself in a catch-22, like, yo, wait a minute, hold up, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man, come on. And now, a lot of times people, they strapped, they pack, and they got some kind of weapon on them to, just because, and even if you're legally carrying or whatever, like, split second, man, things can happen. Things can happen, bro. Things can happen, bro. So, what can I tell you, man? And once again, I'm going to end this right here, but I'm going to say this too. Rest in peace to the family, to the family of the boy that lost his life while, in an altercation or whatever, sadly, the young brother that winded up being found guilty for taking the life of the young man, threw your life away, bro. I mean, I know you're defending yourself, You have to appeal that case. I hope that they see it that way. You know, but these are things right here that you got to learn how to use, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to learn how to use these, man. You know, I know everybody carries a knife. Look, I got my knife. Everybody carries a knife. You don't leave home without it. Look, we have to put in some work. Okay? Man, we have to put in some work so we don't leave home without it. You know, and I'm not talking about that type of work. I'm not talking about that type of work. Y'all be safe out here, man. Right? Subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you for joining me. Appreciate your comments. Share the video, man. All right? I know some upset people about this too, man. Some upset. I would be upset. I would be very upset. My son lose his life. See, it could have went either way. Could have went either way. You know what I'm saying? So, man, it's almost 2 o'clock, 2, 3, 4, 10, and one more hours. 10 hours, another what a day. I tell you. All right, we're going down here and finish up these couple last little patches. Get this road right here ready for all you big high net worth people. Come on and buy this property. It's all stolen land.